Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of True Dungeon Talk with Trent. My name is Trent of TrentTokens.com. I'm a big fan of the game called True Dungeon and a very avid collector of tokens, which you can see back here on these shelves. This is a very special episode. We're doing a retrospective. This is the 20th anniversary of True Dungeon. This is episode 2. In the first episode, we covered 2003 and 2004. In this episode, we're going to cover 2005, 2006, and hopefully 2007. We got a lot to get to. So without further ado, let's introduce the man, the myth, the legend, Jeff Martin. Everybody give it up for Jeff.
Hey, guys.
Hey! Oh, listen to that audience. Oh, they love you. Oh, yeah.
Time.
How about that
Every
one guy?
time.
That orange shirt guy?
Looks like trouble.
Yeah, nothing but trouble. Oh, there he is. Hello, Jeff. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, well, it's a pleasure to have you on. And, speaking of that, YouTube and all that other stuff, don't forget to click subscribe and share and like and friends and enemies and all that other algorithm stuff. It's good for the show. Let's see. Let's say hello to some people in the chat here. Let's see. Kusik, hello. William. David Haas, he can only stay for a few minutes, but he's coming in to say hello.
Good.
John, Chrisamir, Tom, Alan, he's moving. Oh, family movie time. But how sweet for him to come and say hello.
Yes.
Gilstrife, Raven, the one and only. Hello. And James. So big crowd. Good crowd today. So before we get to the retrospective, let me pull this up here. Last month was chapter 2 of Tomb of Terror, which was awesome, and I definitely died a few times, which is always fun. And a few other times I was, my party and I, we were out of spells, down to very low hit points, and it was really awesome. So, can you tell us anything about chapter 2? How was it? Any feedback you got?
Well, we had some, we thought we were having some technical difficulties with the app, but there was just a misunderstanding with how it worked, with the 50% mischance when you're trying to hit a ghost, and basically the way it was set up is that if you whatever you rolled, if you missed, if you rolled that 50% bad, that you actually maybe you actually rolled a 20, but then 20% there's a 50% chance you would miss, then the roller would actually just return a 1. That's why everybody was seeing all those ones. We might be able to get that improved later if we ever do it in corporal again. It'll probably be a while. Yeah, maybe we can get that improved so that you get feedback that that it was actually that and not rolling a 1. So,
yeah. I rolled three or four ones in a row. Yeah,
that's just because you rolled the 50%, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, sorry about. Yeah, so it was working fine. The program's great. It worked perfect. It just maybe we can polish up the interface a little better next time.
Understood. I think after a couple days we figured out, or at least heard, that was the issue. And Alan says that he loved the trap, and Kusik said, "Rest in peace, SEAL team." Yes, I did a SEAL team run. It did not end well.
Not well, huh?
Yeah, and John says that his whole party rolled a 1 in one round. So how about that?
Yeah. Nice.
So that was the last month. Now this month, actually next week, is chapter 3, March 10th through 12th. What can you tell us? It's just me and you.
Okay, I'm really excited about this one. We've got 2 in-person NPCs live, so it'll be awesome. Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. We've got the NPCs we have are going to be great, and should be fun. The puzzles are cool, and combats are nice, and that John's built a really nice set. So in addition to seeing what's behind that door right over there.
Oh yeah, let me pull that up there. Which door are you pointing? That one right there?
That one right there. That's the one you want to find out what's behind. You'll see it's really interesting. So it should be fun. And
now, interesting as in free treasure or lots of death and mayhem?
A little bit of both. Yeah, a little bit of that. And two really good NPC types, so it'll be awesome.
Very cool. I like the running story, the storyline that there's this Similich. Is that the right?
Yeah.
Yes. Right. So I like that he's toying with us, and we must, go through his hoops, to reach our destination. It's kind of fun. Yeah, it's very cool. And for those in the chat, remember, if you have a question, pretty please just type question and then something, and then I'll know to kind of see they're here. Ganoob B-Fam? Ganoob, is that you? Is that B-Fam? What? Gary? I think GA Noob. It might be Gary. If I got a new subscriber recently, and it's GA Noob, and we call each other B-Fam. So, oh my God, he says indeed, Gary!
Crazy. Yeah. There you go.
Oh, man. Holy crizap. Sorry for the aside, everybody. But if you don't mind, Gary, and he won't mind me saying this, is me from long ago. Someone who loves True Dungeon, who loves spreading the word, who's crazy about tokens, and just a lover of the game and sharer of everything. So, wow, welcome, Gary. I'm honored to have you on the show, and you're going to see yourself on the show. So, speaking of that, let's dive right in. This is the 2005 to 2007 retrospective. We have a lot to get to. So, first, let me set up my screen here. And I'm going to dive right in and pull this up and then share this over here. Off we go. So this is 2005.
Yes.
And Jeff shared a bunch of pictures with me. And just like in the last episode, we're going to zoom through them and see what we're looking at here. So what are we looking at here, Jeff, from 2005?
Sure. The big news in 5 was that we moved out of the Hyatt and we doubled our floor space and moved over to the Marriott. Wow. Flew out to Seattle, made a big pitch in front of Gen Con, and at the time we were sponsored by WotC, so they said great, and we were able to do 2 dungeons. You can see in the map on the right there those were all the coaching areas.
The big red lines, those spots.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then you moved into the dividing room, and there's where you either went left or right. It was either above Greyhawk or below Greyhawk. So it's a lot of interesting stuff. So and then the cool part is that towards the end, you got to communicate with each other and help each other solve a puzzle that you're working on. We had these little communicators that it was supposed to be 2 necklaces. You could talk to each other, and they had radio transmitters in them that worked most of the time. And of course it's True Dungeon. But anyway, and then we also had a really cool thing is that if you died on hardcore, if you died, you got to go to Valhalla, and you had a chance to get out of Valhalla and return, but you had to slide a 20. You proved your mettle.
Wow.
So death would actually take you to Valhalla, and you had a chance to get back in if you slid a 20. I think I remember Raven doing that a few times. She was really good to later. So yeah, it's kind of fun.
That's really cool. I've heard about the communicating / helping each other. So this was it. Now, when you said dividing room, I assume this is 2 different runs. Is that right? And they just ended up in the same place, or did 2 people just get to choose?
There was an NPC, and basically it was kind of staged, but it was fun. You got to decide which way you're going, and they all knew that, it was just fun. We divided them up, and then they got to go into their separate ways.
Now, what's this checkerboard / chessboard over here on the left?
No, it's just a puzzle. It was a puzzle, and there was we had a few of those in the day. Yeah.
Oh, it sounds like we're going to be seeing something like that again. You don't want to say too much.
Could be.
And Raven says, there's no truth to any rumors that I died a lot just for the chance to hang out with Ash, a.k.a. Death.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. My wife is watching? Oh, Suk Jen Trent. That's her official name, Jen. She goes by Jen. Hi, honey. She's my wife. She's so cute.
And speaking of Gary, up there, if you can see up by A7, that was the final room. He was on there. gave me the idea for that puzzle. He pretty much said, "Here, if you can make this large scale, it'll be really cool." And it was a real fun little puzzle to do. You had these 7 hexes that you had to make work. You had to get them all locked together so the runes were the same. And it was a pretty hard puzzle, but it was fun to watch people try to solve it. So,
I think Gary told me about that. Gary, since you're in chat, you could answer this. Is this the one where you said, I think you and your dad came up with that? He said
we've got a picture coming up, I think.
Okay. He says it was a Toys R Us kids puzzle. All right. So speaking of stuff coming up, let's move on. All right. So, I see some wooden tokens here. Is this a puzzle room?
No, this is just the little tavern area.
Oh, the tavern. Trading. Okay. Very cool.
So it was fun. We had it. Yep. And there's just there's Jen. Her and Lance again were a big help putting this whole thing together. They did a lot of work on the thing, and we wouldn't have happened without them. So they did great. And next to her is Levon. He was just a friend that helped out many years. It's kind of like a lead type.
Cool. So, Gary said that this was the maid shop, so that makes sense.
You could actually do some trading in there. This was afterwards. We did a little seminar. That's Jen and Lance and Warren.
Wow.
But those three people did a tremendous amount of work that year to help get the event together.
Very cool. Speaking of a group of people,
there's some nutty people. There's some awesome volunteers back in the day. Yeah, this is back when you got there Monday and worked all week long to get it up, and then you worked a whole 3-day shift and then tore it down. So yeah, it was back in the day when you had to be crazy. So,
wow, because you had so few people. And I see a mug up here. I think we're going to be seeing some more pictures of those. This is one of my favorite photos. What is the story here? Do tell.
Well, I will try to remember it accordingly. But basically, this is. I was like, hey, if anybody buys $500 worth of tokens, I will dress up as Patsy and go along with your adventure. So, and Jen made an awesome costume for me, and which I still have. And I guess this is one of the runs. The next photo, I think, it shows a few more people. There's Raven and all. And this is right. The guy on the left, Phil, he was the NPC in that dividing room. But we had a blast. I had my own character card and everything. It's awesome. I was generally useless, but it was fun to go along.
I love your character card. Now, this is George, Raven, and this other guy looks familiar. What's his name? The wizard?
Douglas Equus.
Okay.
Yeah, he was he did for several years. He did like a token valuation kind of site publication thing.
Oh, I've seen that. So that was from him. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, Douglas and George. Pick says, did Jeff just lose a beard between shots? Yes. He wants to know, did you lose a beard? Yeah, apparently you lost a beard here.
Yeah, I think one of these is at SoCal and one of them was at Gen Con.
Okay. Now here's somebody losing their skin.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this is. I guess this is one of this is where we took great stuff, and this is one of the first times we learned that you can do a lot of crazy stuff with great stuff, and we just took an old skeleton and made it look much grosser. This is just something crazy. That we ran into the dungeon. We were at our old warehouse. It was it's not a great photo, but it was like a greenhouse. It was huge windows, and it would get like 120 in there in the summer. It was crazy hot.
So you don't have this warehouse anymore. You have a different one.
Correct. Yeah. That's only about 90 in there. Oh, there's Jeff Chandler.
What is this?
One in here. He said he might be watching. This is voted sexiest True Dungeon Man 2005. So
oh, are you there, Chandler? Stephen Watkins says, can these pictures be shared? There's a question for you.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these are on the True Dungeon Facebook page, I think. But you can, sure. We can do that. We'll post them somewhere. This is Fritz. She's Warren's wife, the guy that helped me a lot. this is the year that she made this really cool, like archway you had to walk under. It was kind of a clue.
Wow. That's
Neat.
cool.
There's a little
The
hang-
tail is wrapping around and there's a bone.
Yep, yep. So this is
Very
kind of
cool.
when we first started doing some cool set stuff. We had the time and the talent and help to start to improve things.
That's very cool. Ah, now this is famous. I got one of these. What is this?
Yeah, back in the day there was a light scroll, and back one of the big things with True Dungeon back in the day was that it was like really, really dark, and everybody split like a torch, the whole party, and it made the atmosphere, it made the cheesy walls look a little better, and it added an element to the party management that basically you had to manage this light. But if you had a scroll, you got one of these to hold in your hand the whole time.
Ah, a scroll of light turned into this. Cool.
Yep.
Very cool. I can't remember who sent me this. I feel like it might have been Jenny.
There's Heidi. She did a lot of work too, especially on the tavern stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh.
And there's Lance and Jane again. Yep. This was fun. Made a little sewer entrance here, so this is really cool. These are really carved stone. Look really good. This is actually, I went up to Milwaukee. This is where those two built it. I went up there to get it. It was really cool looking. We used it for many years.
Are these real stones?
Nope, it's carved styrofoam.
It looks real.
Yep, they did really well.
I think the little brass plates kind of, add to the reality of it.
Yeah, actually, the funny part on those brass plates, if you can see behind me, well, you probably can't, but I'll lift. There's these dragons hanging there, little dragon things, lamps.
Mm-hmm.
Those went exactly on those plates, the same exact ones.
Wow, how about that? That's cool. We're seeing history in the making.
Yeah.
All right, so
there's another little lance. He's all dressed up. Yep.
Very fancy.
And there's Lexi, I believe. I think Lance and her eventually tied the knot, but she was a big help that year as well.
Putting together some walls, maybe?
I don't know what they're doing there. Something.
Okay. Uh-oh.
And then this is Steve Sawyer. He was the guy that was in charge of, here we're putting some True Heroes stuff together. We're mounting a bunch of vinyl on some coroplast used for the walls. They were all comic book type things. Yep. There's one put together. They looked really cool.
That is cool. Yeah, very cool graphic.
Then there's Lance again. This is up in Milwaukee. He's mudding that stone wall that you saw earlier, the sewer entrance. So that's what he's
like really?
Yeah. Warren's having fun. Same thing. He went up there with me to help out, get everything done.
So they were cut at a different place, and you guys then mudded them up there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's a whole bunch of other stuff they made, like a cement table and all kinds of stuff. That's my truck, and we're loading everything up to grab it, take it back down Carbondale. It's like a 400-mile drive to get there. But,
whoa. I see you follow safety procedures. This woman is not wearing shoes, so.
Yeah.
OSHA regulated.
Yeah, and then we had a library where Jen spent, I must have been dozens of hours writing all these funny, punful.
Volo's
labels. Guide
to the Afterlife.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Yeah, we kept those for a long time. They just eventually just disintegrated because it was just that kind of styrofoam.
Yeah.
And then here we are outside making walls. We used this is how we made our spray painted walls.
Awesome.
So notice I'm the only ding dong that's not wearing
I was trying to not point that out, but there's a couple ding dongs here without masks.
Yeah. I've been making them for so long. I was a sign guy, so I'm used to inhaling.
Yeah.
I'm sure it didn't affect me none.
Yeah, I mean, you look fine now.
Yeah. So again, this was up in Milwaukee where they had a little shop, and we went up there that one weekend and helped make a bunch of these.
Wow, I just noticed the template. So you're spray painting, and then
Yeah,
when you remove it, it looks like bricks.
Later on, you'll see me making the template. But yeah, we made it with a router, made an ungodly mess. There we are on our relaxing while we're. And I thought I'd throw this in there. That was just that's how the character cards looked back in 2005.
Wow,
It's kind of cool. This is if you can see, there's a name and level and kind of cool.
Yeah.
This is second generation. The first ones had the date they were born, but as I explained last time, that was part of a puzzle. But we got the names. So this is back in the days.
Yeah, it just hit me with this top design here. It kind of looks like a character card, like a D&D card, you know.
Yeah.
So, wow, that's really cool. I don't think I have any of those, so those might not have survived.
And then I think this is the first year that we actually had armbands. So I threw this one in there, wristbands, where we help people find where they were. Because a lot of times people bought tickets for other people and they were a little confused. So to keep things straight, we started doing the wristbands.
And the leather treasure bags, I have some of those. Those are really, really cool.
Those are authentic artificial leather.
Authentic.
We had this lady come in. I remember we had a lot of people that would just like want to come and hang out in the tavern, and she was like doing readings or something just for fun. She was cool. But Jen and crew did a great job on this little tavern hangout spot. So we'll have more photos coming. Oh, there's Sean McCain, old friend. He's actually I believe it or not, that guy's a doctor, a physician, the emergency room actually. But he's helped for many, many years. So
very cool. Yeah, there's a number of doctors involved in True Dungeon.
Dave Radke, and there's Dave's little. It looks like an ear. That's how the parties communicated with each other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can see there's a little, so they could listen, they could talk. It was really loud. It didn't quite work very super well, but it worked well enough they could get some kind of message. Yeah, we also had it rigged up with a closed circuit TV, so you could see like you were supposed to be seeing the future, and you're actually looking ahead a couple of rooms at a party trying to solve a puzzle. And it was supposed to be you.
Very cool. Gary says, was the other on a mouth? The other one on a mouth? Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like a walkie-talkie, and it was like it had I think Brian Kelly made it look like a mouth.
Everyone looks like children here. So I know everyone now.
We still do.
It's funny. Here's the template.
Yeah, like I said, it makes a heck of a mess whenever you use a router on anything, but especially when it's fiberglass type stuff. And
because it's fiberglass, you're wearing a mask, so that's good.
Yeah.
Good job.
Well, I got glasses on anyway.
Okay. Ooh, what's going on here?
This is one of the puzzles. I actually think I put this in the wrong year, but anyway, this is one of the fun puzzles. One of the fun puzzles. This should have been in 7, I believe. Sorry.
But it's anyway, a preview.
This is a fondly remembered. This one was fun, and that it broke several fingers. I didn't design it super well. The handles didn't really work too well on people's fingers, but it definitely made them work together because it was heavy, and you had these tiny little handles to hold it by.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
This definitely looks like a classic team puzzle, which I think is great. Maybe room 1 or an earlier room.
Yep. Yeah, room 1. You're right.
Yeah. Nice. 1. Yeah. And what's going on back in the background here? Those lights, those 4 lights.
That's another puzzle. I believe.
Okay.
I think. I don't know.
All right. Anyway, speaking of tokens.
Yes, we were still in the Woodies at this time. We actually had 2. We ran out. We sold out, I think, in around April. So we decided we're going to reprint. And then I thought, well, if I'm going to go to the trouble to reprint, let's tweak them up a bit. I think we did like 10 new ones for each rarity, I think. Not sure, something like that. But yeah, there's actually an A and a B this year, because we sold out so fast. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
well, these are
there's.
actually printed locally. So
Oh, cool. So for people who might not know, as Jeff said, there's an A and a B, and on the back the symbols are different. I
yeah.
believe they're both called Blowing Wind, though. Is that right? Do you know?
Oh, sure.
Okay. All right. You could
I have
trust me on
no
that one.
idea.
I just remember I read that. But also, what's weird, if you, for the keen, look how it says common, rare, very rare, instead of common,
Yeah.
uncommon, rare.
Yeah.
Where did you come up with common, rare, very rare, and when/why did you make the change to common, uncommon, rare? Do you recall?
When I was just dreaming this up, and had like 30 seconds to figure it out. This seemed like what it should sounded cool. I think in 2007 when we were doing went to the big fancy plastic ones. I think everybody on the forums like you should just do common, uncommon, and rare because that's what everybody uses. Like all the other collectible stuff. So that's what I did.
I see.
Again,
Okay.
forumites helped me out, so that's what we
Got
did.
it. Got it. Chat is saying, Raven says that puzzle weighed 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Tilt table maze, devious. One is a dragon. Kusik says, Trent knows all the token info. Thank you, Kusik. And Gary says another one is a cloud. So this is very cool. What's going on here?
This is our first wedding. I actually couldn't make this. I was working at the Dwarven Forge booth at this time I was also running Dwarven Forge at the time, so I was splitting time back and forth, running around like crazy. But yeah, this was our first one. We've had a few. I heard it was really nice. A lot of people showed up, and you can also see. I like this photo because you can see in the background behind the maid of honor, I think, is a Midnight Syndicate poster. This year they gave us like the background music to play, and we put up a little thing sign for him. So, and cool. I still see that guy every year there's a haunt convention we've gone to for 15 years. I keep running it every year. I talk to him for 5 minutes. He's an awesome dude. So if you ever need any music, Midnight Syndicate.
Wow. How cool is that? And look at these walls. It's all flat, but they look 3D.
Those are the ones we were spraying earlier. Yeah.
Wow. Very cool. I love weddings. And this is the end of 2005. So let me bounce back to this window here. How about you? Are you I don't know if you're like me, but every time I see a wedding proposal or a marriage proposal, I always tear up. I'm a big baby. So here we go. Now, this is... So we just saw Gen Con 2005. This is SoCal 2005.
Yeah. They flew us out there and had us... this time, they moved us into the adjoining Marriott. It was much easier. There wasn't any union issues or anything we had to deal with. We could get in there all the time. So it was much better. It was really a lot of fun, and we got to go to Disneyland same time. I think everybody got a chance to go pretty much.
Wow.
But they also gave us the suite to hang out in us for around a couple of days just to have a little fun together. So they took care of us really well. So
very cool. Here's the gang hanging out.
More fun. Yeah, there's Joyous, and I think his name was Dash. He's an actor. I don't know if you ever. And then in the back was Hobbs. The guy in the back never wore shoes. He was an awesome dude, though.
Interesting. We had I had a developer that I work with that wasn't a fan of shoes.
Yeah. Oh, there's Ash, the Death, and Peter. He's the one that I think that was the night we got there. He's like, "Come out and drink," and we're like, "All right." Twist my arm. That's cool. They had fun.
A very early, very important supporter of True Dungeon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yep. He also came important later in 2007. I'll talk about that later. So here's our last year of wooden tokens. This is how we did it backstage when we were trying to sort them. A lot of them would get turned in, so we were trying to basically sort them and get them back out there somehow. So for the treasure and whatnot. But yep, this is a lot of fun in the back. We're like, hey, here's a big pile of tokens. Sort them for us, please. Yeah.
Very cool. And here's another angle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very nice.
So this is the. Did we show the map on this one? I don't remember. Anyway, this is the inside the tavern area type thing where they walked in to do their coaching. So
again, there's no map for SoCal. There's a map in the Gen Con one though.
Okay, sorry, I should have. Anyway, yeah, this is again our little SoCal area. They did a nice job here. We had a little bit of problem with the fire marshal, but other than that, California's pretty crazy about stuff, so we had to take some stuff out of here. But
really, wow.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
And this is the tavern.
Yep, there's some really nice artwork tapestries that Jen and Lance had a friend volunteered to make some awesome tapestries.
Really cool.
Yeah, and this was a unfortunate tavern customer.
Yeah, he didn't survive the run.
Yeah.
Fireball, maybe.
This is out in Anaheim at the convention center area. It was a lot of fun to go there, especially when it was like November, more nice. I really like that owl bear they did. Really
nice. I mean, it's really well done. Oh, and it looks like in the cage might be another owl. Yeah,
and there's another owl, but they're always doing little funny things. Yeah, we had a little. I think they had a name for that white dragon, but I don't remember.
Yeah, does anybody remember in the chat? What's the name of the dragon? So Mora Tavern.
This give you an idea what the tavern area looked like. Been in 6 in both adventures. So I think we had room here where we were able to put in a combat board to let people play around with it while they were waiting. Do a little extra training, as you can see in the background there.
Yeah. I think we have a photo of that. Yep, here it is.
Yeah.
All right.
So we just
so
we let folks just have fun, have some brawling if they want. So yes.
Are you sure? There's no brawling in the tavern. Except here.
I think Grog. Yep, I guess Grog decided. That's why.
No spell casting.
Yes, no spell. This is just for fighter types only. Although you can see it kind of scorched, so maybe.
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say. I think there's been some fire here.
Just more tapestries. Again, these are really well done.
Flumph? Is that Is that what that is?
I think so. I believe so. Yeah.
Oh my god. I've died to one of these before.
Me too.
Yeah. Let's see. Raven says, ooh, I remember the Tavern Brawl used to be the level reward for making level 2. You could enter the Tavern Brawl. Very cool.
Cool. More tapestries. There's Joyce. She was actually from Southern California, so it was nice for her. She could make it real easy.
Yeah, lots of people here in the chat were screaming joyous when she was there, so that's cool. Now
this is a little token trading corner, but then you can kind of see on top of it there's some displays of the current tokens that year.
Right. Now I'm going to zoom in here.
This would have been the bees.
Yeah. So
bees. If
you see this here, there's this plexiglass board. It's maybe 4.5 feet long with these little clip-on holders to kind of clip the thing inside. So I actually got this from Smack last year at GameholeCon. He has a bunch of old things that he's won at auctions, and I've acquired them for my collection and also to hopefully display one day. And then right here, I believe that is the ultra rares, which I have right here. And I thought people might want to see that.
Yeah, it kind of got beat up during
Yeah, I mean, there's some cracks here. So I thought people might, this edge is missing. I thought people might like to see that.
That was the year. That year, you could only find ultra rares in the dungeon. You couldn't get them any other way. And
yeah,
we found that was a bad idea.
You could see that right there.
People would destroy the rooms looking for the ultra rares, and they just ignore everything. So that was the last time I did that. But yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. So yeah, I thought people might like that.
And again, and this shows you that like the Wizards board, practice board used to be up on the wall. We had it with magnets instead of horizontal.
Now, speaking of that, I'm going to go to this shot here. If you'll give me a second here, that is right there. So, yeah, right there. Now, there's probably more than one, but that's one of them. In case people are curious. Okay, so continuing on. Raven says that caused some consternation looking for tokens in the dungeon.
Yeah, they did. This is just a practice combat room or combat board inside training, so it hasn't changed much. Same old technology. The old plotter is, I think, going to last another year, maybe, hopefully.
I love it. And there's a 19 here and a 20 there. Big spider coming at you. Cool props.
It's just more decoration stuff. Yeah, we just tried to theme it, and this is kind of what the hallways look like. We had these really cool. I like the way we were able to make the archways look neat. And again, it would look a lot better in the dark with a single torch to light the whole thing. So.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it looks cool now. I mean, I as an adventurer, I want to know what's on the other side of that, that entrance. John says, those look familiar. Glad they arrived safely, the token boards with Woodies. At GameHallCon, I flew. I couldn't fly back with those giant things. So John mailed those to me. So thank you for doing that, John. Because they live close.
All right. Well, I think this was if you can see on the right, there's a big piece of artwork. I think this year Stefan Picorni, the Dwarven Forge guy, he used to hand draw all these really cool maps for his D&D campaign.
Really?
Anyway, I got a hold of a bunch of them, and we printed them out and put them up for display because they looked really cool. He actually ended up coming out with a book. Oh, it was a Kickstarter like 4 or 5 years ago, and you can see them all there. So you can Google that. But the amazing stuff that he would sketch out that nobody had ever seen except for him.
Wow.
But he finally published them all. Because when I found him, I was at his place and I just found this pile of drawings. I'm like, what the heck is this? This stuff's amazing. That's the stuff I do for my campaign. I'm like, well, I'm going to scan these in and I'm going to show them to people because they look really cool.
Oops, sorry.
All right. No, that's fine. And then
I wanted to show, look at this detail here. I mean, it tells the story. The people here chopped down all these trees to make this fort, and guess what? It's made out of trees. How cool is that? Yeah, so very cool.
And then this is the first time, and I think the only time we had like a colored photo mural. One time we tried to do a banner. It didn't work as well because it was too shiny. But this looked really cool. This was a setup this was a wilderness room.
There's some practicals here as well. At the bottom, I see, plastic ferns, and then you got the leaves, and then it looks like a big boulder over in the corner.
Yep.
I think it's cool. I mean, this is, again, 2005. True Dungeon had been going for 3 years. So that's very cool. Oh, and here's where this ended up.
Yep. That's the,
Now, I don't see the bone. I remember seeing this photo and not remembering the bone, but the bone looks like it might not have survived.
May not have.
In that hole there. Ooh, what's this?
It's another puzzle. If you notice, there's 7 of them, but don't look too close. This puzzle might come back. Who knows?
Oh, okay. I'm going to get off this. And nobody paused
There's
the video.
Skeleton Man. There's a skeleton man.
There's
the guy. He is supposed to, and he's got a little wand. And anyway, this is us installing it. I guess the thing fell off, But in here, it was we had a trough that was running, supposed to be a stream, I believe, and you could actually fish a token out of there, be floating down if you were quick. And then I think there's a secret compartment in here too somewhere.
Wow.
At the bottom, we could find another one.
Oh man, such cool, fun stuff. So that's a magic wand, you say?
I made those for something. Those are made out of PVC pipe, the bent to look kind of like bamboo.
Yeah, I thought it was bamboo.
There was something. It's fake bamboo. Because why you don't use real bamboo that's like really cheap and easy to get. Make fake ones.
Okay.
Anyway.
Let me see.
This is supposed to tell you to be careful in here, that you can get fried.
Yeah, he didn't make it. The chat says, let's see, John says, John, he was asking, are those the old token sliders? Did you put in, for these, did you put in woodies here? In these white sliders?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So there's your answer there, John.
That was the first year that we had those. And then the next year we went to Chippy. Well,
right.
A couple years ago.
So Kurt says he has those, the 7 magnet tiles. So he's talking about these. I guess Kurt has those.
Cool.
And Gary says the bone was the key to get out without taking damage, ? Or maybe it's a statement or a question.
Yeah.
And
who knows?
Raven says that was such a cool room. First the moving wall trap, then the wand in the trowel, then a small combat with the shadow monster, defeat by covering the light source.
Oh man, I remember.
Now you remember? See, that's why we have guests to remind you what was going on. Oh, this is a cool one.
Molten makes a comeback. Yeah, it's just Molten came back. He'd been away for a few years and said he wanted to go to SoCal, hang out. So.
Wow, that is such a great thing. If you wish to leave this room, open the chest, force all you do. My key resign. Uh-oh. That sounds like a clue.
Yeah, it's a clue. Might want to keep moving. You never know.
Okay, moving on. Nothing to see here.
But there's a trick lock to get it open. Yeah, you had to figure out how to open the trick lock.
Wow. Okay, I'll keep moving. Ooh, what is this?
And this was well, the silver things are all gone later, but you'll see this is like a giant sundial.
Yeah.
With like a pole in the middle. Yep, It was part of a puzzle.
Wow.
This is a big giant thing. Yeah, in this combat you got to fight a snake and Merilith, I think. Anyway, we had some bard runes that you had to read. Your bard had to tell you what was going on there. So again, more fun in SoCal.
Yeah. Wow, very cool. Pick says, man, this really makes me wish I found TD a few years sooner. And then Gilstrife says, same. And to both of you and to everyone else listening, I want to say, hold on. Same. Yeah. Wait, you did find it earlier than we did.
I would have wished I started it earlier.
So, yeah, some cool runes. Whoa, what in the world?
All right. Yeah, one of the rooms had this chromodep glasses. You put them on and it made certain different wavelengths of light look farther away than others. So you could see a blue dot and a red dot, and the red dot would look a lot farther away. So then you go into the next room and it's this trippy kind of.
Whoa.
It's our first attempt at like an astral room. It was kind of fun. You'll see in the next clip, I think, or soon. Oh, there's Gary's puzzle.
Oh, here's Gary's puzzle.
Yeah. There you had to put them all together so they matched. It was fun to watch because you'd have like 6 people around the table, and one guy would be working on one, the lady next to him would be working on another, and they would like, they didn't even notice that they were just sabotaging each other because they were so focused on the one form. And it was just a dance. You would just see them, and it was just kind of funny. So that was another one of those like party management things. It's good.
Yeah.
Basically, hey, let's have a plan. Let's not all try to solve this at once, like independently. Let's do a plan. So
Yeah. Very, very cool. So Gary's going, hey. he remembers this. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So this room had a bunch of polka dots everywhere.
Yeah, I know. What is up with the polka dots?
So it looked really trippy when you walked in. Everybody took the glasses off after a while to work on the puzzle, but just when you walked in, it looked really trippy and it was fun.
Oh, with the glasses on, there was some depth perception stuff going on.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
And it was a lot darker, and it was a fluorescent light in here, so it looked really cool.
Wow. Very cool.
There's NPC. This is Phil, NPC in the dividing room. He would give you the big spiel and then divide you up. He had a Swedish accent for some reason, and that's what he did.
In real life or just for the NPC character?
The NPC.
Oh, okay. Hey, it was a choice, Make a choice and stick to it. Uh-oh, who's this?
Uh-oh. That's a rogue. You need to be careful. There's always trouble. So trouble.
Yeah. So speaking of trouble, Raven says, I remember this room as my first puzzle DM experience. Ash grabbed me from the tavern and said, you know how the final room works, right? Can you DM it? Like now? Our DM is missing.
Yeah.
Was that your first entry into volunteering, Raven? So speaking of Raven, we'll see if that was how Raven became a volunteer.
Raven volunteered all the time.
Oh, okay, never mind. Now, who in the heck is this?
It is Giron the Great.
Wow.
Gary. Yep. He was from SoCal, so it was great that he could make it to that too.
Okay.
But
good noob.
Yep, he did a lot. Him and his dad did a lot of stuff for us too. They made some really awesome character card holders. Those for. Yeah,
I have some of those, and they're token holders as well. I have some of those.
Yeah, those are awesome.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
That's Heidi. She helped out a bunch in the tavern.
Wow.
It was a lot of fun to get everybody together in SoCal. It was much more chill in SoCal. So it was a nice reward for a crazy year.
Very cool.
SoCal.
Oh.
This is what the store looked like, and that's Diana and Davison and Tom Gowan. He was the one that did all the music and stuff for us. And
this is Tom here on the right.
Yep.
Oh, I was just telling you, Tom reached out to me through Facebook and have some older tokens that he wanted, to contribute or we'll maybe work out a deal with something for the, for my collection. So yeah, he said he's in Manhattan. I'm here in Brooklyn. So yeah, I think we'll connect, I didn't even know he was here.
Yeah. You can see in the background. Yep. There you go. There's the merchandise stuff. You can get the music, you can get the mugs, the collector kit. And then the collector kit had a bag of holding in it, which was a cool token. It didn't do anything. It was just for fun.
Yeah, but it's still cool. From an RP point of view, you can imagine that's how you're able to carry all this gear. That's when I first got my bag of holding, I thought, oh, well, that's how I'm carrying all this stuff in the dungeon. Yeah, these mugs are very cool. There's 3 of these, if I'm not mistaken, that are uncommon. And then there's a ultra rare, which was the volunteer version.
Yeah.
So there's 4 total. And for people who are looking for these mugs, I want to apologize. I got 2 sets. So there are 4 that are in the mug still, and then another 4 that I broke the bottoms out to get the token out. Because in my collection book, there were holes that I was missing. So I had to put the real token in there. So, yeah, I apologize. What a good-looking set of people. Who are we looking at here?
This is Mr. and Mrs. Widseth, and again, Giron, Gary, and Danny, and there's all good folks. Yep.
What a beautiful crew this is here. Wow.
Yeah, they were kind of West Coasters, so it was nice they could make it to SoCal. It's easier for them. And here's your token binder with all kinds of cool stuff. So
there's the inside of the binder. Really cool. Actually, this reminds me. In 2004, there were 2 volunteer ultra rare tokens, but no tokens for, the common folk, the commoners. But in 2005, those were the first ultra rares that people could acquire, and here's one of them right there. And they didn't have the symbol. I mentioned, this is for the people who don't know, on the back of the 2005 tokens, there's the 2005A, the 2005B, but for the 2005 ultra rare tokens, it says .com on the back. So there's some differences there. Yeah. Playing around with tokens.
Yeah.
I recognize this lean in, what's going
on? What you got there?
I recognize it well. Look at this crew.
Yeah, this is the volunteer crew for that year. Lots of great folks.
Wow. There's Death. By the way, everyone else has aged except Death. Death is the only one that looks the same.
Death never ages. Yep.
That's Ash, right?
Yeah. Ash Palmer.
Cool. All right. So that is the end of that year. So that's 2005. Let's jump to 2006. Oops. That's that's 2005. Sorry, 2006. Here we go. And now, so here's the beginning of 2006.
All right. Yes. This is the year of the coolest, awesomest tavern ever. It was a lot of fun. As you can see, the adventures are on the wings, and we decided to put this massive tavern together and actually have coaching in there. It wasn't really called coaching at the time. We figured that out later, but this is where we'd have called it on deck, and basically people would meet in the corners. But people would come in ahead of time and just sit down. So this place was always full, and people were exited through here. So it had a lot of really cool. It had a great vibe that we were never able to make again, but it was just a lot of fun just hanging out in there and seeing everybody trading tokens and drinking and having fun eating. There was a full bar there, so could have a good time. And you just wait on deck here. You'd have a person come out and say, hey, get ready, get your stuff together, and then they'd go right into the training room. So this is the precursor to the coaching that was added year after that.
Wow, so this looks really cool. I'm really sorry that I missed this part.
They did a lot of work on it. We had some, but there were basically two identical dungeons that you would start, and we had I don't know if it's basically, we had a kind of a training room, but before that you get to it was a little admin area, but that's just kind of where you could do some trading and stuff too with some NPCs or get some extra tokens. But anyway, it was a lot of fun, and after this I always chased trying to get that tavern feeling back, and we were never able to. I think it was just unique in that the way it was set up, people got there early and stayed late. Mm-hmm. But after that, it was like people were like, oh, I gotta go to my next event. So I enjoyed it while it lasted.
I've heard so many people say how much they enjoy the tavern, so I definitely am sorry I missed that. Did I hear you right that there's one adventure and then just two ways? I mean, they're both the same exact way on the left and right?
I believe they were. There might have been a slight difference, but this is the year that we had our first NPCs, like live action NPCs in room 7. It was supposed to be like it was an evil drow that you're like basically pretending that you're evil cultist, and you're meeting the drow, and you're like pretending so you can find out what's going on, and she gives you a puzzle to solve to prove that you're worthy to come with her to the next year's adventure. So
all right, I definitely want to make sure I heard you right. This is the first year that you had an NPC?
Yeah, first year, and it was a big surprise.
Wow.
It was room 7.
Cool.
It was room 7. Yep. We had some great NPCs, too. It was awesome.
When, I assume you got feedback. When you got that feedback, were people just loving it, and then you realized, oh, I need to do more NPCs? What happened there?
Sure, yep. Yeah, it was. I know it was something we wanted to do. It was just like you never really had the people that could do it, but after that we had one, then a lot of people saw how it was done, and they said, "Well, I could do that too." So after that, we usually NPCs are what we have the most of. So
Wow. Wow,
nice.
the beginning of the NPCs.
We had to show this to Stu. This is when he was 12 years old.
Oh my God, he's a child here.
Yeah, Stu-O, everybody. Yeah.
So yeah, everyone reach out to Stu and say we have a picture when he was 12 and a pasted on goatee. He looks so young here. Now who are these beautiful people?
It's the trio of trouble there. Raven, Fritz, and Joyous. Yeah.
Wow.
And yep, just helping out again. There's the blue color.
Yeah.
Somebody likes blue.
Somebody likes blue. Very nice. Oh, look at this child again.
Yep. This is again just in the tavern area. You can see this is the first time we had fancy tavern walls with the Dave Radke, Chandler, and Brian Kelly. They put a lot of work into making these really cool timbers that we've used for a long time. To make we made the walls, they made the timbers. I think we had the easier job. So
wow,
made some awesome
timbers. It looks
timbers.
real. Yeah. I have a question. Is this a photo bomb? Is this Stefano?
That's Stefano.
He's photobombing here.
Well, earlier I did say they had a bar here, so now you know why he was hanging out.
Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, so here's the drow.
Yep, this is one of our. I think we had 3 people play the drow that year, and this is Diana. She's actually she lives not too far from you in Manhattan. The reason she lives there is because she does a bunch of commercial work and other professional acting stuff, voiceover work, all kinds of stuff.
So she was one of the first NPCs.
Yep, and now she makes a living doing acting in New York. So it's awesome.
That's awesome. Well, if you happen to be watching this, reach out, say hello. We're neighbors. Another drow.
Another drow. Yep. This is back. Different costumes. This is what you wanted to wear, so I was like, whatever. That sounds good. She's really nice.
Right.
She actually met her husband with True Dungeon, and I think they live in Hawaii now. I think.
Wow. So many connections with True Dungeon. That's good. Yeah. And here's another drow.
Linda, another drow. Yep. She was probably the meanest of them all. She was a really good drow.
So those were the 3. So the first 3 NPCs.
Yep.
Wow. How about that, people? We just saw the first 3 NPCs of True Dungeon.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
All right, and then this year we had an event called True Arena. We can get through and basically it was like a double elimination or elimination tournament where you just, depending on how well you slid, you advanced. We had some special rules about, that's what those red dots are for. You could do like extra stuff if you hit a red dot. I don't remember the rules. I'm sure I've got it on my computer somewhere. But Bob was the one that won that year. I think we have a picture of him coming up. There he is.
Cool.
Bob won. He got his cool little plaque, and I think he's still excited about that. So, yeah, that was, cool. He's a nice guy.
Good job, Bob.
And this is just some shots from the inside the room. We have, you can see from the shadows. So we tried to put like a ceiling on these. We had to use a special flame retarded camo stuff. And from the side, it looked like a full. It definitely gave you a feeling that you were at a ceiling. It was cool, but it was a real pain to put up. It was really slow, so we never did it again.
Yeah, I think we have a photo of that a little later.
This is the year that we went from the spray paint walls. We carved several thousand by hand of these styrofoam blocks. There's Warren. It took months for us to do this. And we eventually got it. A bunch of these first we had to cut them with a styrofoam wire cutter, and then we had to hand mud them with this stuff. So they're all unique and different. They looked really cool because they were all organically different.
Kurt in chat says something. I want to jump back here. Kurt says the leg red dots would make you slide standing on one leg. The head red dot required eyes closed. Does that sound familiar?
Nice. Sure. Yeah. Sure. I came up with some weird
something
stuff.
wacky.
Yep, so,
that's cool.
yeah,
I like having people in the chat who can help us.
this is just some of them. There's another room that's completely full. As you can see, we're starting to make some of them on the very right side. But yeah, we had two different sizes, and we used a lot of silicone, as you can see there.
Wow.
The next photo yeah. So this is how we put them together on our big table. There's Stu again, awesome guy. Again, this is when he was 13 years old. But yeah. Anyway, we had an assembly line process where we had a bunch of. This is the first time we had a bunch of folks come to the TD HQ to help. So I put out the word, "Hey, we're making these cool walls. I need help." And we had a bunch of people show up, and we managed to make huge stacks of these things. I think we made about 100 walls that day.
How long did those wall pieces last? Do you recall?
We still use them sometimes.
Really?
But they sometimes they would need repair. They were great. They looked great, and yeah, it was just they were just we wanted to go a little bit better, but still have good memories of those things.
So they lasted 15 years plus. So amazing.
Yeah. And this is just some folks from the tavern that year. This is, I think, one of the golden ticket runs.
Right.
I think this was the first year we were doing those. Yeah, it's cool VIP button. Yeah, Walkers and Mike.
I think this is the first year. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is when there were certificates and not tokens.
Yeah, Evan Cooney. Here's another. Oh, this I think is the DDA early members.
Yeah.
Look how young they all look.
Oh my God, the DDA.
Little kitties.
Now they're holding. I brought this up. I showed this because I saw Gary join. I don't have that one that's in the picture, but I have a version of it. And this is one of my prized possessions from Gary, actually. Yeah. So how amazing that he's actually joining us today. It's an honor to have him here. That's one of my prized possessions. Speaking of Gary.
There you go. Yep.
What a group. I have one of these purple scarfy things. I'm not sure what those are called, and some of these buttons here.
Yeah.
Another group.
Yeah. There's another little group.
My God. Everyone.
Look at
everyone.
Smackdown.
Wow. Who is this? Oh my God, that's SmackDown.
This is SmackDown, people.
Oh my God. Oh, I can't wait to show him that photo.
Yeah, there's some more.
Another group. Look at these smiles and these genuine gleeful eyes. You know, this is real happiness here. Oh, so great, so great. Here's somebody looking tough.
Two of Southern California's best, Gary and Douglas. Yeah, big helps in the early days.
Very cool.
Big help.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah, this is one of the first things. This is Henry, the infamous Henry. Right. He had a box that you can see that was strapped to that Sandy. You would take a token and leave a token. So, yep.
That's so funny. Speaking of not aging, he looks the same, by the way, to me. So
yeah.
And here's a crew.
Right. Yeah, these guys decided to come themed. It was crazy when I saw them. I was like, what? But I think this was for. I mean, I think they did this for the costume contest, and then they decided just to come in this as costume. So it's the first time I think we had like a whole party.
Right, and now the Blue Brotherhood, they represent in full costume usually.
Yeah. Candace, look at all the tokens. She's there helping sort them all, looks like.
Now, Candace, if I'm not mistaken, on Facebook said that she was going to either catch the show live or later. And I said, good, because you're part of the show.
Yeah.
So there's Candace. What is going on here?
Nice. I was making those tavern walls. So we took big 5-gallon buckets of like beige paint and put in wood shavings, added some sawdust just to give it some texture, and then we just rolled it on. This is out at the warehouse.
Very cool. In chat, Gary said thank you for your kind comments of him volunteering.
All right. This somebody sent this to me and said, here, there was a big thing going on. This was the year where it was a thing I put in the forum about present to me a spider token and I will give you a reward. And I capitalized a spider token. It was supposed to be a clue that it was an anagram. And if you take a spider token and change it around, it spells Peter Atkinson. So nobody did it, though, unfortunately. But this was kind of a hint that you were supposed to do it, I think.
Someone sent this to you?
Yeah, I don't remember who it was. It's really nice. They were like, here you go.
Wow. I believe they spelled receives wrong, but besides that,
yeah,
it's very
what are
cool.
you going to do?
What are you going to do? I love it, though. It's a very nice likeness, though. You can tell who it is right away.
Yeah, I gave this to Peter afterwards. I don't know if he still has it up on his wall or not, but it's kind of funny.
Here's the ceilings you were talking about.
Yeah. They look cool.
But you only did it 1 year.
They were big pain to put up.
Big pain.
Really slow. All right, then another thing we worked on and towards the end of 2006 for 2007 was True Star Wars. There was going to be a Star Wars Celebration 07. Yeah, I had to sign an NDA, but I guess it's expired hopefully by now. But I got to fly out to Lucasfilm out at the Presidio. They had just moved in. Got to see the Carbonite Han Solo in the office and everything. It was cool.
Wow.
But so I put together this whole huge proposal because Peter wrote me and said, hey, we want you to do True Star Wars at a Star Wars Celebration. I'm like, all righty, I think I can do that. So we did a whole bunch of work on this and ended up not happening for some reason. Like, here's the concept of basically what the rooms would look like. If you could probably recognize the pattern, but I came up with a whole story and came up with tokens and everything. It was going to be so awesome. It just didn't work out, unfortunately, due to things. Here's, you want to zoom in. This is proof I actually went. This is a garden. It's a hidden garden inside Lucas.
Wow.
That you can only get through the inside to the office. So there I am in front of the Yoda statue. Big fun. Tom went with me, and so did Dave Radke. Other two guys, Peter and Rennie from Gen Con. But it was a lot of fun. I got to, talk to some big Star Wars nerds, and it was I wish it would have happened. I had a great story set up. It was all right. I know you want to know, so I'm going to tell you because you keep asking. It was basically supposed to be, when Alderaan gets blown up.
Mm-hmm.
Right before, basically, if you don't solve the last room, you get blown up with Alderaan. So the story is Vader senses that there's an evil Sith artifact on this planet just as they're going to get there to blow it up. So he sends bounty hunters to recover it before it gets blown up. So the players got to play like IG-88 and of course the Mandalorian himself, but a bunch of the Bosk and all those guys. We even had a theme song. Tom Gowan should play it, called Bosk. No, Tom wrote a really cool Bosk theme song. Hopefully he's got it on the internet. You should look it up. Anyway, it was going to be awesome, and then the villain was going to be Darth Drakus, named after my son Drake. So it was going to be awesome. Man. It was going to become canon because they owned everything that I created, and it was going to become like expanded world canon, but didn't happen. Oh well. It's a lot of fun though.
But they own what you wrote?
Yeah. Yep. Because I had to sign up. Don't really do it. So.
Now, I want to point something out to you, Jeff. I mentioned something a few photos ago about people after a GT run, how gleeful their smile,
Yes.
and you could see it in their eyes. If you'll allow me to zoom in here, now it's fuzzy photo, but I see the
Yep.
same glee and
Yep.
joy. You must be a big Star Wars
Yeah.
fan.
Well, it was at the time, sure.
Oh, but
that's
since then
much-
you're over it.
the last trilogy kind of did me in. But anyway, yeah, it was awesome. I got to see the original. I got to see one of them at least. I don't know if it was the one in the movie, but Han Solo and Carbonite and a bunch of props, some stuff from other Lucasfilms, Hudsucker
Yeah.
Proxy, some really cool stuff to see. So, yeah.
You all of these years you create these things for us to enjoy, and you get to see our smiles, but it makes me very happy to see you having a similar smile here. I wish we could figure out how to
Yep.
give you more smiles. We'll have to figure that out. Speaking of the tokens,
Yeah, there's those are the prototypes they gave them. They were Tom Gowan did all the design work on them. Did a really great job. It's going to
Cool.
be fun.
now you said you gave these tokens to them.
No, I mean they were going to basically own everything just because of the way it was. They didn't, of course, they weren't going to let me create all the Star Wars stuff and keep it. So,
Right.
but anyway, it was going to be awesome.
Wow, they look very cool. Another
That was the back
design.
of it. Yeah, and you can just go through these quick. This is just the back design, and then the different.
Oh, that was the back,
front.
and here's the fronts.
Yeah.
Got it.
So we try to make these kind of more usable for Star
Wow.
Wars folks.
Love it.
All
Okay,
right,
so now
so
we're back
here's-
to True Dungeon.
Yeah, here's another one that basically this is how we used to do tokens back in the day. We had them printed locally. They came to us in big boxes, and we did a grid of 10 by 10, 100 of them, and we would just put down like 7 common, and on top of that we'd put 2 uncommon, and on top of those we put rare. Then on one corner we put an ultra rare. That's where all that came from. And we asked folks to come and help us. And George from Indianapolis, George Pratt, came and helped out. Had some other folks come that
Wow.
way. Anyway, this is how we used to do it back in the day. Yeah,
Wow.
there he is. Load in each one of those bags had 100 in it, I believe. So,
Each
Yeah.
bag had an ultra rare in it then.
yep.
Wow, so cool. All right, so that is 2006. So now we go to 2007. Oh, and I have a little reminder here to play the video first. So
All right.
so let's go to 2007.
Get you stand by. Have your credit card ready.
Yeah, get your. In 2007, the let's see, do I have? Yeah, I do have. One would imagine that I would have some tokens close at hand. So this is the what you had from 2003 to 2005. Let me cover my face here. There we go. So wooden tokens, right? Or 2006 rather, and then in 2007. You get these guys, these little chippies. Sorry, there it is. All right. So this. Now I remember seeing an old video of you, like just dropping them over and over and over. So it was just you know
Yeah.
kind of like Pavlov's dog, you know, just hearing the chips. And I went looking
Yeah.
for that video. And I couldn't find it, but I found this. So walk us through what we're looking at here.
This
This is on YouTube, by the way.
Yeah, this is a commercial produced for TV for True Dungeon tokens, believe it or not. Yeah. I had a friend, Pat Kelly, who at the time worked at a cable place in Peoria, and he was bored, I think, one day or 2 days, however long it took him to make this thing. And he called me up and said, "Hey, I'm going to make you a commercial, and I'm even going to run it late night on the cable thing." I'm like, "All right." So I sent him a bunch of graphics and photos, and he put this crazy TV commercial together. It's like a couple of minutes long. I don't know.
Yeah,
Haven't
it's like
seen it.
a little under 2.5, I think. Yeah, 227.
So yeah, this actually ran on Cablevision in Peoria in 2007.
That's so
So
great.
if you happen to be around, you might have been like watching Quincy or Night Stalker, and then you saw this thing come on.
Oh
You're
my
like,
god.
what the heck is this stuff? This was before, yeah, we yeah. So that's what it is. It's I saw it and I was like, wow, that is the craziest thing I've ever seen. So we have not done one since. No 2-minute TV commercial spots, but
Yeah. So you guys go to YouTube and go to the channel. I think it's called Jeff Martin. And this I mean, it's really cool, but it shows its age a little bit. It's kind of like one of those, visit now, buy now, but wait, there's more. So
yeah, awesome. Glad he did a great
oh,
job.
this
There
is
it
what I was
there it
looking
is.
for. This is the video of you making the chippy sound. Where you were. I think it was like a newsletter or something.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I was trying to show off that they're heavy plastic, so yeah, they feel like coins. So
yeah, so that is that. Yeah,
Order now!
with the fire.
fire is good.
Oh, it's
Good.
great. It's such a great little thing. You got to check it out. So
Yeah. So this. Oh, and just to tell you a little bit more about this, how all that happened. So it was really nice. A couple of years before this, Peter Axon came out with a game that used these kind of chips for a game called Clout, which unfortunately didn't do well enough. They ended up kind of killing it after a couple of years, and he called me up and said, "Hey, do you want these molds? Because we don't really need them, because they cost tens of thousands of dollars, and we don't have. You'll have to change the back of them because the back say Clout, but the molds themselves and everything." So for I think it was like $3,000 only, I was able to take his molds and modify them, and we actually got to use. So the front looks exactly like the old Clout games. So if you look at our tokens and like the old Clout tokens, they're the same exact thing.
you mean like the
front.
circle and the name?
Yeah.
And really?
No, the dots on the front. I guess the one that
Oh,
shows
you're
the
talking
graphic.
about. I'm sorry, the physical tokens. So the little rounded
Yeah.
circles. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
that's
not
exactly.
not the labels, of course. Yes, the actual plastic.
So anyway, he was super nice enough to set that all up. Without it, I wouldn't have had the resources, or I wouldn't have know who to do. So he hooked me up with his supplier and everything, and it worked out great. And we're off to the races after that.
What? So if he would
Yeah.
not have done that in 2007,
Right.
you would have had more wooden nickel type tokens.
We'd probably still be doing wooden nickels. You never know. So and yeah, crazy. The thing about ours is
Wow.
the clout chips didn't have the weight that ours do. I decided to be a nerd and spend the extra money to get the heavier chips. There's like a steel slug in them.
Mm-hmm.
Glad I did. It just felt like more like coins that way.
Yeah, if I can find this fast, I'll show you. Yeah, so I think it's fairly fast. All right, so I'm going to show you this here for the people who haven't seen this before. Yeah, right there. Here's a broken one, and you can see the steel there. Right. So that's what Jeff is talking about. Yeah. Wow. I never heard that story. I'm so glad that we are doing this retrospective, because these little nuggets are coming up. It's so cool. Thank you for sharing. All right. So 2007, chippy tokens, the plastic with the label, and they got some heft to it. And where are we at Gen Cons? Marriott still?
Still at the Marriott. Yep. Still, we're there for several more years after this. But this is when we had a better setup for the coaching. This is when we had coaching for the first time, and then training, and then you got to go in the dungeon. That was slightly different. I believe there was a little. No, maybe they were identical. I don't remember. But this was. We had a lot of fun here. Now it looks like there's a basement and an upstairs. Yeah, I think the last room 6s were different, maybe. And it ended in the tavern, so that was cool. You get to go hang out in the tavern. Again, it didn't quite have the same feel as the one the year before. It's probably because we didn't start in the tavern, but it was still cool. Yeah, still at a bar and had some fun. So yeah, we used the entire space up here. It's 20,000 square feet.
Yeah, this looks like really good use of the space here for lots of combats and puzzles.
Yeah.
Did you? Once I got involved, there were puzzle runs and combat runs. Is that maybe what was going on here? Like the upstairs was a puzzle and the basement was a combat, or vice versa?
Could be. Yep. Probably. Sorry, I wish I knew. I should have boned up on my TD history before we started, but I believe so. Yeah.
Well, I see what looks to be one of my most feared enemies here.
Yeah, he's coming up.
Oh, those guys are trouble.
I had too much fun with them making maps. I still do.
Yeah, the maps look really great. And the wizards upstairs had windows.
Yeah, there was a puzzle nose, and then there was a.
Well, maybe this is the combat then.
Yeah, then you had to fight the. Yep, fight the beholder in the basement. Maybe.
Wow, so cool. Very, very cool. I love looking at this stuff. And here's the building of what we just looked at.
More awesome folks. Yep, you can probably just scroll through these pretty fast. It's just folks that really helped out. There's Aaron, and there's what the front of the Wizard's Tower looked like. That's like 12 feet tall. Looked pretty neat.
Wow.
There's Death yet again.
Ash, he's all over the place.
Yeah, there's...
Maybe checking in.
Yeah, there's more builders.
Wow.
There's Will. There's Web Shooter. I burnt the heck out of my...
By the way,
I had a mark on my arm for like 2 years after that because I burned myself.
You got something here on your shoulder there.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, look where this is pointing. It's pointing right to your hand. That doesn't look smart.
Yeah, that's not a smart person in that photo. So, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, are these the windows? The wizard windows?
No, this is a crypt. There's a hole you had to stick your hand in and grab something, I believe.
No freaking way I'm touching that.
Yeah,
somebody else.
There's spider webs. I'm trying to put them up. We used a lot of them. If you happen to go to GameholeCon last year, we used a lot of spiders. That same exact gun we used there. I'm a little better with it now, and I didn't burn myself. So
that's cool. Same gun making a comeback.
Yeah, this is kind of what the store area looked out in front of there in the Marriott. Thought people would want to see that.
Now, these circular tokens on the table here are on the walls of your current warehouse, if I'm not mistaken. That's right?
Some of them are, yep. Some of them we auctioned off, and some of them I think this is here we had our first auction.
Ah, cool. Yeah, I remember visiting there and just loving those things on the walls. And I'm so happy to have one behind me. Well, a newer version of one of those.
This is the Wizard's Study. They had a fun puzzle in. I won't give anything away, but anyway, we did. This is back when we could do like glass and stuff, and not worry about.
So cool. This is really well done.
Yeah, I like this puzzle a lot. It was fun.
Yeah. Oh,
there's our beholder.
Oh my god, this is not good. That thing can hurt. It fell on the way there, and the bottom half of it kind of collapsed. So it was this thing was real heavy fiberglass, and it the bottom kind of got destroyed on the way, but it still looked pretty good. Yeah. Is this this is not the one that I saw in 2016?
No, this is a completely different one.
Right. Now, did this one survive?
We gave it to somebody, and I think I got stuck in his parents' barn or something for a few years, and I don't know whatever happened to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
You can see the bottoms missing from it, but the one cool thing is the lights all the eyeballs were independent LED lights. It worked really good.
Crazy.
Much better in the dark.
Yeah, it's so cool.
So
more props. This ain't good.
Yep.
Look away.
There's the Medusa. It was our first time having a Medusa, and then we also had like an Earth Elemental, I believe, that came in. That's a really nice costume done. It was fun. People really like the Medusa.
Very cool. I've been remiss of checking the chat here. I apologize, chat people. Let me just check real quick here. Kuzik says needs some clout chips now. So let's make a note. Thomas says my bag hates those steel slugs. So it must be heavy. I'm most proud. And then Gary says that he's most proud of the original thieves' tools, stuff from my dad's toolbox. So I guess the picture was from his. And
I think Gary sent me a picture of a ring too.
And here it says he mentions in 2007 people sent in pics of stuff to help get the tokens made, and he says my wedding ring is the original +1 ring of protection. Wow, that's cool. And Cover Stealing Badger says that steel slug is what gets us stopped during the bag check at the airport. And Gary says that TSA loved them. And Kurt says, oh, yeah, I remember seeing the Medusa. So this looks familiar. So everybody look away. Ooh, a cool shot.
Yeah, Fritz is always taking cool shots. Just more token fun.
Now, this has a mixture of the 2006 and the 2007 tokens. Yeah,
these were all just turned in tokens. This was a pile of stuff that got turned in.
Got it.
Yeah. There's just this is a year that we had we started using the hit point counters, a little magnet.
Yeah, I'm going to zoom in on a couple different things here. So this is the light source.
Light ball.
And you click it and it turns on. I have one of those, and I have one of these as well. This is also one of my most favorite things, the hit point tracker.
Yeah.
That I had never seen that until someone sent it to me. It's a lot of people send me stuff. It's
our first party card too, I think, right there on the left side. First party card.
Oh, is that a party card?
Yeah.
Wow. No way. I'd never seen that before.
See, it's got a logo on it and everything.
When did Treasure, like there was no treasure tokens, plus treasure. When did that start? Was that the very beginning you could pull treasure from 2003 or do you remember?
No, we didn't have like treasure you could pull till I think 7.
So I'm wondering, I'm wondering if that was maybe on the party card, like that's where you would say.
Yeah. Well, back then, basically, you would if you solved the puzzle or defeated the monster, there was an actual treasure generator in the room, and you just reach your hand in there. But that got abused too much, and we had to worry about people, during breaks and stuff. So years later, we end up just moving it into Epilogue.
Wow, so cool seeing this old stuff. Who's this youngin'?
Well, this is Drake. Unfortunately, his birthday is always like around Gen Con time, back in the mid-August. So I think this was his 6th birthday, and they were really nice to bring him a cake. The hotel lady gave him a hat and some rings, and he had a good time.
That's cool. Well, you could just tell him to celebrate his birthday. We're going to hold Gen Con for you.
There you go.
He'll buy it. Who are these lovely people?
More trouble. It's Joyce and Raven again, and the blue.
So Kurt says that he remembers seeing the Medusa, but he made a save. Brad says belated hi. Hello, Brad. And Gary says that table was the treasure table in 2005. So did we put that? Was that maybe the wrong photo in the wrong folder? Maybe.
Well. Ooh. Oh, there's the old sliders.
Yeah.
Those stopped in 2005, I believe.
Yeah, I have a set of these.
4.
Another one of my prized possessions.
And that's Chandler. That's the most reason it's there. It's another photo of Chandler. Hadn't had one in a while. Figured it would be time to put one in there.
Yeah, every so often we need a Chandler photo. Now, this D4, what class was the D4?
That was the Wizards. That was their dagger.
Oh, Oh, the
They have a
dagger. And then the D6 is, do you remember?
Probably a rogue with the rogue and the ranger.
Rogue and Ranger. And then we have a D8.
Yeah, that was the fighter types. There
And
might have been a
then-
D10. There might have been a D10. I don't know.
Wow.
I've got a set somewhere. I have to look, but
Yeah, I don't know who used which, but maybe the chat remembers. Oh, and Gary says, no, I'm saying there was a treasure grab table in 2005. Ah, okay. And here's...
there's a quote. Yeah, there's the tokens.
Yeah,
That's
those are cool. So now I'm looking at this token differently because this was the mold, and that's what determined. I guess I've never asked you, hey, how did you figure out how many dots or whatever? It was figured out for you.
It was all clout.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh
There's
my
Mac
God.
again. He's helping out, build stuff, and he's got some bouncing and behaving hair going on there.
That is insane. I cannot wait to show him. Now, what is this for people who don't know?
All right. Well, I don't know if you guys ever watched this TV show, but this guy, Matthew Atherton, he came to SoCal the year before this, and he like totally flipped out on True Dungeon. He loved it. It was great to see. He wrote afterwards like this big ode about his whole adventure and put it in the forums. And he came to the he was one of the, we had like 5 people show up for the riddle reveal there because it was like Sunday morning or something. Anyway, he was one of the guys. He was a really nice guy, and he was really into it. And then later that year, he won this as Who Wants to Be a Superhero. And so we decided to make a token for charity called the Feedback Loop. And it had charges, and basically we gave him like 1,000 of them, and I think he just somehow auctioned them off for charity. I don't remember how much they raised, but it's really cool. It's an official token, but it could kind of undo a missed save or something.
I can't recall, but yeah, there was a charge to it, and there are so there's the token, and then there are some of those tokens that he signed. I have both, so that's a cool collectible. Feedback. And here's the set.
More. Yeah, this is off the website. This is our first promotional photo.
Now,
there's Gary's.
Yeah, Gary is here. It is right. This is from your dad's tool. What do they call that? Toolbox. As you can tell, I'm not a toolbox guy. How cool is that? Wow. Very cool. Oh, it scared me.
You must have put this one in here. Anyway, there I am with those wooden those new dungeon walls.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Yeah. So, and this was the Marriott outside. This was the fun. It took 4 people to move the heavy pallets because the pallet checks didn't want to work. So
no.
I was happy to get to the over to the exhibit hall where we had cement floor and everything was easy to roll.
That is nuts. They're obviously this was not intended for pallets. Kuzik says the feedback loop immediately allows 1 reslide in combat, 2 charges. Generate proceeds for Learning Ally, formula recording for the blind and dyslexic, and the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So that's cool. And Gary says that it was a Stan Lee TV show / contest. So very cool.
There's your other one. There he is.
So I have this auction now. So.
Yeah, he got this at the auction. I forgot how many gold pieces he paid for it, but I guess later he sold it to you. I'm glad it's in good collector's hands.
Yeah. So there's 2 versions of this. There's a 2004, if I'm not mistaken, and then obviously the 2005B. Yeah. So I have this now. Thank you, Smack. Cool. Oh wow. And what's going on here?
This is our in 2007. This was that. Remember in 6 you met the drow. But in 2007 she gave you the intro to the adventure. So this is one of the drow. So this is
Oh,
the same
cool.
character.
Very cool.
So that's how it all set up. It's just one of the little puzzle tops. Thought I'd just show that. I like making this fun. Look
You
cool.
know, am I crazy, or is this symbol here on the
Yes.
left? It almost looks like the back of the 2005 token.
You are not crazy.
Oh my God!
also
So
the
that's there it is. Though it's a little fuzzy on the token. No way. That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow! I can't believe I recognize that. You might be a token nerd.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Cool. Whoa! What is this?
This is our first big like moving monster. It's a puppet type thing. You could wear it too. It's fun. And then that thing in the middle, the thing with the skull and the scepter, it would actually, if you grabbed it wrong, it would shock you. It's cool. That's why there's never grab a scepter that's got copper wire running around it. That'd be bad.
Oh my God! So you did shock people another year. We talked about shocking in the first episode.
Oh yeah, we've done it more than once. Yeah, I did it at True Realm as well.
Oh my God!
Fun.
Shocking. Oh, who's this nutcase?
Bob Stone. He decided to put his mirror on his forehead when he was going to go fight the Medusa. So that's how he.
It makes
very
perfect
proud of that.
sense.
Yep. There's
Wow.
the binders of tokens.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on here. Besides that crazy thing, how fun is that? You got the binders, you've got the old character card, you've got the hit point tracker, and for the Team Token fans, right here is the Team Token button, which is what this is. This is Team Token. And I think Stu designed that, so I got the image from him, and I printed some more buttons of that, and Gary passed the mantle to me, so now I proudly lead the Team Token crew, and the purple mantle. I have that as well, where they would put like all the pins that they had done. So I have one of those as well. Thank you for reminding me what that was called. So this is Handsome Rob. Oh no! Don't look.
Another Medusa. Yep, there's There's a great group of folks there. Wow.
I think on the left it's Stu, Wences, Medusa, Brian, Gary, Raven, and the other. Oh, is this
Bob,
Incognito?
Bob. Yes, Incognito, and then Bob Stone, and then between them is Evan Cooney. He was a big fan. He even had TrueDungeonFans.com for a while. Where he was, and then he just kind of disappeared. I'm not sure. Hopefully everything's right, but yep, he was a cool dude. He was a big fan.
Wow.
So,
Gary, are you in this photo pretending like you have been turned to stone? Because from where you're looking, I don't think you're looking at her. I think you've been turned to stone. Let me know here in chat.
yeah.
I can't believe I was able to name everyone here except two people. What a great group of, and Gary says yes. So Gary, he's turned to stone here. He's so silly.
Yeah.
Oh, look at these guys.
Same crew in the Wizard Study. Same crew.
Wow. This is one of my favorite pictures because, I mean, these are legends of True Dungeon working together as a team, trying to figure out something. Very cool.
Yeah, there they are again. There's Evan. Get a better picture of him.
Wow.
And it was,
and I knew there was another photo with the books in the background. Here we have the books, right?
Yeah, those were all individually lettered. It was an amazing amount of work. But it was really funny.
Beautiful.
We used them several years. They just eventually just deteriorated.
I bet that was a really, really nice prop.
There's he had a massive overbite. You can tell the whole bottom collapsed when it got dropped. But at the time, that was amazing. So, yeah, good times.
It's still amazing. And here is the crew.
The crew,
Yep, Incognito.
Look at
Wow.
that. Yep.
Stu as a child.
Yes.
Oh, wow. All right. So that is the last photo of 2007. So how about them apples?
No.
Whew. So there we go. We just went through 2005, 2006, 2007. Lots of little nuggets of information. Last chance for any questions from people in the chat. What a walk down memory lane, Jeff. Thank you so much for joining me and sharing so much cool information with everybody. And thank you everyone for watching as well. Let's say goodbye to Jeff so you can go and enjoy making more stuff for our future adventures. So thank you again, Jeff.
Right.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Thanks,
for now.
everybody.
Thank you, Jeff.
You.
All right, so that was Jeff Martin, the creator of True Dungeon. Thank you so much. What a very cool walk down memory lane. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. That was some amazing information. I love those little secret nuggets that happen. And thank you all the people who joined. Special shout out to Gary. I proudly carry on the token loving mantle for everybody. I really appreciate everything that you and all the other volunteers and everyone who came before us, you set the tone, right? So everyone who's playing now is carrying on the tradition of being kind and generous and very helpful to others. So, and that's all because of all these people who started it out. So again, thank you everyone for watching. Please don't forget to do that liking and subscribing and sharing and all that other algorithm stuff. I really do appreciate it. And until next time, don't forget, it's very hard to frown when you're smiling. So please smile.